All right, up here back at about 8,100 feet now. So earlier I was talking about on the audio portion about vision and about how vision impacts your ability to sell your company. You know, earlier we talked about, well, in the past we talked about the failure rate of companies that are trying to sell. Work my cord here. And how bad those numbers are. Because the reality is that only 50% after the LOI stage actually sell their company. So if it's 50% after LOI, and this is the time where you've kind of made the handshake, you've decided what horse you're going to ride. The deal numbers have all been put in. You're going through due diligence, and then you're going to go through final negotiations, and then you're going to be done. You're going to have your company sold. So why do so many of them fail? Well, sometimes it's because companies aren't really ready to be sold. Due diligence kills them. They go in at a multiple range that is not at the high end of their range, and then the buyer finds all kinds of hair on the company, and everybody's time's been wasted. So one thing is that when you go into LOI stage, make sure your company is ready. Make sure that you have worked with your advisors to go through the I'm good checklist. Make sure that you've worked with your advisors to discover, uncover, and report the flaws that you have in your company. But that's not the main reason. The main reason, well, in my opinion, that deals die is because of the vision element. Owners have not thought about things that are truly impactful to them. Things like, is their self-identity tied into the business? What are they going to do after they get done with the business? Are they okay with their business being run differently by a new set of owners than they would have run it? I've seen on a couple of different occasions deals either fall apart or nearly fall apart for big money, where the owner got caught in this trap of thinking about how a new owner is going to run their company. And the point that I always make to them is that it's not their company. They've sold their company. The new owners can do whatever they want to figure out how they're going to best run the company going forward. So you got to release it. You just got to go, that's okay. The other thing is, how do you self-actualize? What are you going to do next? What is your new why? What is your purpose? How are you living every day? I told a story the other day to some colleagues about young Navy SEALs and some kids that I interview before they try to go into special operations training. And I always ask them, why do you want to go be a special operator? Why do you want to be a SEAL? And many of them will say, well, sir, it's because I want to serve my country. And I immediately turn to them and tell you, you will never make it through your training. And they look at me like I'm crazy. Well, why? I'm strong. I played football. I can run 15 miles. I can get through any training that the Navy throws at me. And the answer is no, you can't. It's because it's mental, and you're going to be laying on a beach in the surf in the middle of the night, freezing your rear end off, all locked arms with a bunch of other cadets or candidates. You're going to be shaking uncontrollably from the cold, and on the beach is the bell. And all they're waiting to do, all the instructors are waiting for you to do, is get up and ring the bell because you weren't mentally tough enough to work through it. And because you weren't mentally tough enough, you're going to get up and ring the bell. The reason you're not mentally tough enough is because you don't have your why. Why am I there? When I have to go through the most difficult decisions or the most difficult environment in my life, Why am I not going to ring the bell? And so I try to help these kids understand that they have to have that ultimate why. And owners need to have that why as well. They can't just say, well, you know, the money's good, so I'm going to sell it. They have to know why they're not going to ring the bell prior to the transaction. And more importantly, even tougher numbers, 75% of owners report that they're profoundly unhappy after they sell their business. Basically, they've rung the bell after the business has been sold. The reason is, again, there's no purpose, there's no why. So now they're profoundly unhappy. So before you sell your company, make sure you understand what your vision for the future is. Make sure you understand what your why is. Don't ring the bell before, and don't ring the bell after. All right, we'll talk to you next time. Have a great day. See ya.